Yeah, so that ends that topic. We're going to be getting into... We're talking about Ratchet and Clank, which is a pretty good jumping off point. We're talking about games that have been released so far in our Game of the Year. Right, Dom? That's what you wanted your topic to be?
Yeah, so I was looking back today at work while I daydreamed, That's what I do all day, 9 to 5.
Yeah, and get paid for it. Living the dream.
Exactly.
The daydream.
So, and then also last week you guys did, in the Fireside Groove, you guys did,
Oh, yeah.
what games are coming out the rest of the year that we're looking forward to, and so on. So that kind of made me think, like, well, what actually have I played so far in 2016? Because looking forward the rest of the year, there's not a whole lot for me that I'm personally interested. But up until this point, there has been a ton of stuff. It's been a great first half of the year, I think, and
Yeah,
I just want to kind
solid.
of I kind of want to reminisce on that. So I mean, the first thing I played this year. I'll wait for Uncharted 4 because that's still what I'm gonna have to call my GOTY so far. Dark Souls 3 was a close runner-up, but I think I'm just too fatigued on that series. Whereas even though that was like one of the maybe only second only to the original Dark Souls for me, as in like that's how good of a game it was. It just I played too many of these games and it just I couldn't get into it as much, even though everything about it was great, but. Otherwise, we mentioned Ratchet and Clank was phenomenal. That was a surprise. Doom was another surprise.
I'm trying to think of what else.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull up my release date list for you.
The Witness is probably one of mine. That came out in January. And I played it, and man, like that's one of my like top 3 probably this year. That game caused me like real life stress, like because it's almost like this may be cheesy, but I describe it as the Dark Souls of puzzle games because it just messes with you. It's really difficult, and some of the puzzles just mess with you, and it does a lot of unexpected things, and it does a lot of beautiful things in terms of the way it presents itself and in terms of the messages it tries to bring and the weird stuff it tries to do. It's almost like Kojima made this game. Like I think Jonathan Blow is probably like the white Kojima to me, at least. Yeah. Like, yeah, The Witness is really, really, really good.
That game also, I think, gets Innovation of the Year in the sense of it did... Ratchet & Clank did it afterwards, but it did open up that $40 price point that we saw The Witness hit, we saw Ratchet & Clank hit, and now we're going to be seeing Recore hit. I think that's a very good model. I think that he opened that up. I think for me, I didn't play Uncharted. Obviously, I don't have a PS4, and that series doesn't really interest me either way. But for me, I would say that Doom is definitely my game of the year right now. But if Child of Light had came out this year, that'd probably be up there. But that game came out 2 years ago, obviously, so I'm a little late on that. Inside is fantastic. I'm only an hour in. I think that will definitely go over Doom for my game of the year. I love Overwatch, don't get me wrong. But it's like crack, but it's not something I think... It's tough. Like, I love playing Overwatch, but... Inside and like Doom have done things on a video game level that I would consider more of game of the year. I think the only game looking forward, the only couple of games that can pass for me when I get my hands on them are We Happy Few, which looks phenomenal.
Oh, that's right.
Depending on how good that game is, that can take over game of the year for me. And Below, if that gets a release date this year, I'm still holding out hope. I'm thinking of other games that Horizon Zero Dawn doesn't come out till next year. Gears of War 4 I think will be great, but I don't know if it'll be game of the year for me. Last Guardian will be thankful if that's a 5.
Oh man, The Last Guardian might be my game of the year just off of principle, even if it sucks, which it probably will.
Don't
just
hold
because
your breath.
like I want it to be good so bad, I might have those rose tinted glasses on while playing it.
So yeah, for me it's Doom because I think Doom has the best combination of everything: gameplay, mechanics, story's there. It's not like Last of Us, but it is something, And yeah, I think Inside could capture it. So next week I might have a new game of the year, depending. So far I love it. So yeah, that's for me. Pretty much, I'm done talking. What about you guys? Blessing.
My game of the year is Overwatch. Right now, at least, because that's the game I played more than any other game. And I think my reasons for it are obvious because I've kind of explained it already. It's just very fun. It's very well polished, and it's gotten me back into multiplayer shooters. And the whole I don't know if I can really. See, it's a weird situation because a big part of what makes Overwatch amazing for me is what it does for me socially. The people I play it with, the conversations I have while playing it, the fun I have while playing it, the jokes that are made while playing it. And so I guess that, I mean, technically that's not really part of the game, but it's kind of part of the game because it happens because of the game. But yeah, Overwatch right now, even if we're just talking about the game itself, is probably like it's probably my game of the year. Ratchet and Clank is up there. It's really good. It's like, it's perfectly polished. It does so many things well. There are a couple things about it that I think could have been a little bit better in terms of the story, but I mean, people don't necessarily play Ratchet and Clank for the story, and so it's easy to overlook. But Ratchet and Clank is up there for me. It's really, really fun. It's really, really polished, and it's Ratchet and Clank. The Witness, like I said before, is definitely top 3 because it caused me so much stress the week it came out, and it almost turned me into a crazy person. And that's hard to explain why unless you play the game. And you play the game, then you understand what it is about that game that can like kind of just mess with you. It's just really difficult, especially if you kind of commit to not using a guide. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what else. I'm not really an Uncharted fan. In fact, I wrote an article about how I kind of dislike Uncharted.
Wow.
Which
Damn, Dom's all alone.
If you like your Twitter, if you like not getting hate on Twitter, then don't write an article.
Oh, I can only imagine. Oh, I feel bad for you. I
Uncharted.
didn't even think of that. You posted it on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
People must have been all over
good.
you.
It's oh yeah, I showed up. I guested on another dude's podcast, Alex Van Aken, if you know him, and I talked, like, the topic on that podcast was why I kind of dislike Uncharted and why I think Uncharted is overrated. And he messaged me like the day after he posted it. He was like, "Dude, you've gotten me so much hate," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, man. Like,
no press is bad press."
I just don't like Uncharted. I wish I could like
Speaking my
Uncharted.
language, Blessing.
Yeah.
You're speaking my language.
Oh yeah, but I'm gonna play it later this year because I haven't played 4, and so I plan to play 4 later this year. I played all the other ones, and I played them specifically just so I can tell people I dislike it. Because I played the first one, I was like, this sucks. Then somebody was like, oh yeah, the second one's amazing. I was like, okay, I'll play the second one. I played the second one, I was like, this sucks. Then I was just like, you know what, I might as well just play the third one at this point. And I played it, I was like, yeah, this sucks. And so, yeah, that's not my game of the year yet. It might be after I play it, but who knows.
Dominic, you're
What
on a
else is there?
podcast with a bunch of
Yeah, I
crazy
don't-
people. You realize that, right?
A man after my own heart.
The funny thing, real quick, before you get into Jordan's Game of the Year, is you brought up something and it kind of made me realize the reason Overwatch isn't Game of the Year for me is because Doom and Inside and all these other games are like the games I'm married to, like I'm committed to. And to me, Overwatch is kind of like the thing on the side, you know? Like, I play it all the time, and I'm there on the side, but I don't want to tell people I'm with it, you know? I'm like, no.
It's your side chick, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm the exact opposite to where like I'm committed to Overwatch and I play Overwatch for hours every day, and then like I have so many other games I want to play, but I just can't get to them because I'm so committed to Overwatch. And then like I try to fit in Tales from the Borderlands for like 1 hour, but I don't even play it for 1 hour because somebody invites me to Overwatch. So I mean, I feel you. I'm the opposite though, but yeah, I feel
Jordan,
what you're saying.
I'm interested to see Quantum Break came out this year, right?
Indeed, and that is by far my game of the year so far.
That's what I anticipated. Yeah.
Yeah, man, like, it really doesn't get much better than Quantum Break for me. I think, like, story, gameplay, just the creativity of it, the type of stuff that they were introducing into the game that really felt fresh and new and felt like stuff that I had never seen before. And yeah, I've talked before about how like the live action show was actually pretty good, and I thought added a lot to the story. So yeah, there's just so many things about Quantum Break that I love so much.
When I finish it, that might be my game of the year too. I need to get around to it. It's definitely my next thing. So
yeah, I would say Ratchet and Clank is not a super close second, but it's up there. I think that Quantum Break is kind of miles ahead of anything else this year. But yeah, man, Ratchet and Clank is one of my favorite series of all time, and the original game is one of my favorites. So to have it reimagined, as we described earlier, in all of its beautiful glory on PS4, along with the movie that most people crapped on, but I actually really liked. Ratchet and Clank was awesome, and I haven't finished it yet. I need to get back to that just because I kind of put it down and never finished it. But yeah, I would say
The final boss battle sucks.
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Chairman Drek. He sucks in the original too.
Yeah, I won't tell you what it is because I don't want to spoil it. But it's just in terms of difficulty, in terms of being unfair and kind of glitchy.
It's ridiculous. It's like
really bad.
the game is one
that's-
way, like it's one difficulty the whole time, And then all of a sudden, like, that final boss battle is just like ridiculously hard, and it's all over the place.
It's stupid.
I
almost threw my controller in my TV.
That's one of the big things that people have an issue with on Quantum Break. You'll probably notice that, Jerrad, once you get to the end, it's just that, the boss battle's like way too hard and doesn't explain itself correctly, and it kind of sucks because both of those games are so awesome, and to end an awesome game on a bad note is really sad for me.
Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, exactly. That's besides the point, but that does suck whenever that happens.
I'm really happy that all of us have a different game for Game of the Year. That's pretty cool.
Diverse.
True.
Yeah, it's a pretty good year.
Overwatch, I have Doom so far, you have Quantum Break, and then you have Uncharted, obviously. It's funny, do you feel like you're constantly in a podcast full of crazy people?
Yeah, I'm always the minority here.
Yeah, which is interesting because it's not the case most of the time. So, yeah, it puts you in a different perspective.
I would say, I know Blood and Wine isn't actually a game, but just because of the fact that it is so freaking substantial, I mean, it's like, 30 hours of content in an expansion pass. I do want to at least give it a shout out.
Even when
just
you
because
couldn't lock on.
It's so chunky. I know. Yeah, I'm just now getting back to it because I did have the lock on glitch, which really sucked and took me out of the game. But even still, CD Projekt Red was right on top of that. I sent them a bug report, and they, reported that they were working on it. So I'm down with that. I get that. They were adding so much to the game anyways. It's kind of mind-boggling that it didn't just crash anyways. So let me see here. I've got my list. Just anything else I want to mention here. Far Cry Primal was a disappointment to me.
I even forgot that came out this year.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's obviously just a reskin of Far Cry 4. And then shout out to Alienation.
Oh yeah,
which
Housemarque
is Housemarque's latest game. It's kind of a spiritual successor to Dead Nation. I shouldn't say kind of. It's totally a spiritual successor. But that game is just pure arcadey fun. If you love getting high scores and upgrading your equipment, top-down shooters, if you love sci-fi, any of that stuff, you'll probably like this game. So shout out to all those, man. Those are awesome games, and like you guys said, it's been an awesome year so far. So
yep,